Storms don't last forever. Ladies and gentlemen, friends walking through quiet battles and unseen struggles, this message is for you. Life has a way of testing us. It throws storms at our peace, shakes the ground beneath our confidence, and sometimes makes the future feel distant and unclear. But in every storm, even the fiercest one, there is a truth we often forget. Storms don't last forever. They may roar, they may linger, they may bend us in uncomfortable ways, but they always pass. Think about the storms you've already survived, the seasons you once believed would break you. Somehow, you are still here, stronger, wiser, more prepared than before. You carry the proof within you that darkness is temporary and endurance is possible. When life grows heavy, your mind will try to convince you that this is permanent, that the rain will never stop, that the light will never return. But feelings are not facts. Hardship is not destiny, and your current moment is not your final chapter. Even the longest night eventually surrenders to morning. Sometimes the storm isn't around you, it's inside you. It's the doubt that whispers you're not enough, the fear that paralyzes progress, the exhaustion that tells you to give up. But remember, a storm cannot erase the sky. It can only cover it for a while. Your strength, your purpose, your worth, they're still there, waiting for the clouds to lift. And they will lift. Take a breath and look at what you've made it through. You've faced problems that once looked impossible. You've healed from wounds you thought would never stop hurting. You've rebuilt your heart after moments that shattered it. That resilience inside you is not an accident, it's a promise. A promise that you are capable of outlasting anything life sends your way. Storms may slow you down, but they cannot stop you unless you let them. Every raindrop that falls is watering the soil for something new. Every challenge is adding weight to your courage. Every setback is shaping your future strength. So if you are in a storm right now, hold on. Do not let the darkness convince you that you are alone or defeated. You are becoming someone stronger than the person you were before this began. You are learning, stretching, growing, even in ways you cannot see yet. And one day soon, you will look back and realize that what felt like chaos was actually preparation. What felt like ending was actually transformation. What felt like drowning was actually teaching you how to rise. The sun will break through again. The calm will return. Your smile will come back. Your energy, your hope, your clarity, they will all find their way home to you. Storms don't last forever. But strong souls, souls like yours do. So stand tall, breathe deeply, keep moving forward. Even if the steps are small, the storm is not here to destroy you. It's here to strengthen the parts of you that you will someday thank. You don't come out of a storm the same person who walked into it. You come out transformed, reshaped by pressure, sharpened by adversity, and strengthened by survival. Every storm strips away what you no longer need. It removes the doubts that held you back. It exposes the fears you must overcome. It forces you to confront parts of yourself you once ran from. And when the sky finally clears, you walk forward lighter, clearer, and more determined than ever. You may not feel strong right now. You may feel tired, overwhelmed, unsure. But strength is not always loud or bold. Sometimes strength is simply continuing. Sometimes it is choosing hope in the face of uncertainty. Sometimes it is standing up one more time than life tries to knock you down. You are not weak for having moments of struggle. You are human. And being human means learning, stumbling, and rising again and again. Look around you. Every person you admire, every success story you've ever heard, every hero who inspires you, none of them were shaped by comfort. They were shaped by storms. They learned to see challenges not as walls, but as doors to something greater. And you are doing the same. Your storm is not proof that you're failing, it's proof that you are becoming stronger, becoming wiser, becoming someone who refuses to quit. Hold on to this truth. Pain is temporary, but growth is permanent. What hurts today will strengthen you tomorrow. What confuses you now will make sense in time. What feels like an ending may be the beginning of something beautiful. So walk through this storm with your head held high. Not because it's easy, not because you have all the answers, but because deep down you know this season is shaping you with intention, with purpose, with power. The rain may fall, the winds may rise, but so will you. And when the storm finally breaks, and it will, you'll see how far you've come and how strong you've become. The eye of the storm, your power awakens. There comes a moment, right in the heart of every storm, where the chaos around you demands you make a choice. Will you let the storm define you, or will you define yourself despite the storm? This is the moment when something shifts inside you quietly, subtly, but powerfully. You begin to see that no matter how heavy the clouds are, they cannot control the fire burning in your spirit. You begin to realize that your strength is not measured by how little you struggle, but by how fiercely you continue. You might not see it yet, but deep within you, resilience is gathering like lightning. Each breath you take in the midst of fear is a declaration of courage. Each step you take while uncertain is an act of faith. Each day you choose to show up despite exhaustion, despite doubt, despite pain is a victory greater than any storm could ever claim. The world often celebrates the sunlight, but your true power was forged in darkness. It was shaped in nights you cried in silence. It was built from moments you had every reason to give up, but didn't. It grew quietly, stubbornly, relentlessly, until one day it became unshakable. And that day is coming. The storm is not here to drown you. It's here to reveal you, to strip away the parts of you that never belonged, to push you beyond the limits you once thought were permanent, to show you that you can bend without breaking and rise without asking permission. Listen closely. You are not at the end. You are at the turning point. A new version of you is forming, stronger than fear, louder than doubt, brighter than the storm that tried to bury you. And soon, the thing that once terrified you will become the testimony that inspires someone else to keep going. Your survival will be someone else's hope. Your courage will be someone else's permission to rise. So keep standing, keep breathing, keep moving one brave step at a time, because no matter how fierce this storm feels, it is temporary. But the strength you're building right now, that will stay with you for the rest of your life. When the storm breaks, your rise begins. There is a quiet moment sometimes so soft you almost miss it when the storm begins to lose its grip. The winds that once shook you start to weaken. The rain that blinded your vision begins to soften, and the darkness that felt endless begins to thin. This is the moment when hope returns. Not in a sudden explosion of light, but in a gentle flicker, a whisper, a warmth inside you that says, "I'm still here. I'm not finished yet." You may not notice how far you've come, but look closer. Your breathing is steadier. Your mind is clearer. Your heart, though bruised, is beating stronger than before. You survived the part you thought would destroy you. Now you get to rise. Emergence is a subtle power. It's the courage to open your eyes after the longest night. It's the determination to put both feet on the ground even when you feel unsure. It's the bravery to believe in a future you can't see yet. And that bravery is inside you right now. You're stepping out of the storm with scars. Yes, but scars are not signs of weakness. They are signs of endurance. Proof that you've weathered something powerful and lived to tell the story. Proof that you didn't break. Proof that you were stronger than the storm that tried to claim you. Take a moment to honor that strength. Not the loud kind people applaud, but the quiet kind that keeps you alive. The strength that whispered, "Keep going," when everything in you wanted to stop. The strength that held you together when the world didn't make sense. The strength that carried you to this moment of rising. And now, as the clouds begin to part, you get to decide who you become next. Not who you were before the storm, but who you are because of it. You've earned a new perspective, a deeper gratitude, a fiercer spirit, a clearer purpose. The storm may have changed you, but it changed you into someone wiser, braver, and more powerful. So take your first steps into the calm with confidence. Walk like someone who has seen the worst and risen anyway. Move like someone who knows nothing can shake what they've rebuilt within themselves. Stand like someone who understands that their story is far from over. It's just beginning a new chapter. Because the storm didn't break you. It revealed you. It refined you. It strengthened every part of you that needed to rise. And now the world is about to meet the version of you that the storm could not silence. Beyond the storm, claim your tomorrow. Now that the storm has passed, there is something important you must understand. You are not the same person who walked into it. You are stronger. You are sharper. You are more aware of your own power than ever before. This is the moment where everything changes. Because once you've faced a storm and survived, you stop fearing the wind. You stop doubting your strength. You stop believing the lie that you're fragile or insignificant. You realize that any force that tried to break you has only made you more unshakable. Life is offering you something precious right now. A new beginning. A beginning built not on fear, but on courage. Not on uncertainty, but on clarity. Not on weakness, but on the strength you earned drop by drop, challenge by challenge, night after longest night. You've walked through shadows that would have swallowed others whole. You've endured moments that demanded everything from you, and you still didn't collapse. You stood your ground in a storm that was meant to silence you. And the fact that you're here now proves one thing. You are unstoppable when you choose to rise. The world ahead of you is wide open. Yes, there will be challenges. Yes, there will be setbacks. Yes, there will be days where doubt tries to creep back in. But you're not walking into the future empty-handed. You're walking in armed with the wisdom you earned from surviving your storms. Every painful lesson becomes a tool. Every heartbreak becomes insight. Every struggle becomes a map pointing you toward who you are becoming. From this moment forward, walk like someone who knows their worth. Speak with the confidence of someone who has faced darkness and still shines. Dream boldly, because the storm that tried to break you already proved that your spirit is built for greatness. You don't need permission to rebuild. You don't need validation to rise. You don't need approval to take up space in the world that is waiting for your light. This is your time, your chapter, your sunrise. Remember this truth. The storm was temporary. but the strength it awakened in you is forever. Unbreakable, the power you didn't know you had. Now that you've stepped beyond the storm, there is one more truth you must embrace, one that many people never realize. You were powerful long before the storm. The storm just revealed it. You see, strength isn't something you gain only in peaceful seasons. Strength is discovered in struggle. It's uncovered when you're pushed, stretched, challenged, and forced to rise higher than you thought possible. The storm didn't give you strength, it exposed the strength that was already rooted in you. The kind of strength that doesn't break under pressure, that doesn't crumble when things fall apart, that doesn't disappear when life grows dark. You have an unbreakable spirit, a spirit that refuses to surrender, a spirit that can endure pain, uncertainty, and fear, and still choose hope. Most people don't understand the power of that choice, the power of standing up after being knocked down, the power of holding on to belief when everything around you whispers doubt, the power of taking one more step when your legs feel weak. That is the kind of strength that shapes leaders, healers, dreamers, fighters, and survivors. And you are one of them. Never again let anyone convince you that you're fragile. Fragility does not make it through storms like yours. Fragility doesn't endure nights of fear or days of exhaustion. Fragility doesn't rise when the world feels heavy. But you did, and you will again. Because resilience is woven into your DNA. From this point forward, carry yourself like someone who has walked through fire and didn't burn, because you did. Carry yourself like someone who faced storms that should have crushed them but didn't, because you didn't. Carry yourself like someone who has earned every ounce of strength they possess, because you have. When you understand that you are unbreakable, everything changes. Obstacles look smaller. Fear loses its power. Doubt becomes a faint voice you no longer listen to. You begin to move through the world with a presence, the presence of someone who knows they can survive anything. And that is the truth. You can survive anything. You have survived everything so far, and you will continue to rise again and again. Storms don't last forever. But unbreakable souls like yours, they last through every season, every challenge, every moment of life. You are not just surviving anymore. You are rising. You are evolving. You are becoming the strongest version of yourself. The ascent walking toward your destiny. After every storm, there comes a moment when you feel something shift within you. A moment when surviving is no longer enough, when standing still is no longer acceptable, when you realize you were not spared just to return to who you were, but to rise into who you're meant to be. This is the ascent, the climb toward the life you are always capable of living. The climb fueled not by perfection, but by progression, not by certainty, but by courage. Not by ease, but by determination. You've already overcome what once felt impossible. So imagine what you can do with clear skies. Your future is no longer a distant dream. It's a destination calling your name. And now that the storm has carved strength into your bones, you are finally ready to climb toward it. Every step you take from here is different than before. Your steps carry wisdom now. They carry purpose. They carry the fire you earned through the trials you survived. You move with intention because you know what it costs to grow. You know how much strength it takes to keep going. You know the weight of the storms you've endured. And because of that, you no longer walk like someone who doubts their path. You walk like someone who owns it. You are becoming unstoppable, not because your life is easy, but because you learned to move forward even when it wasn't. You are rising not because the world cleared a path for you, but because you created one yourself. You are stepping into your destiny not because everything went right, but because you refuse to let everything that went wrong stop you. That is power. That is purpose. That is momentum. The storm shook you, but it awakened you. The struggle challenged you, but it refined you. The darkness frightened you, but it pushed you to discover your own light. And now you walk with a strength that cannot be taken, a spirit that cannot be dimmed, a belief that cannot be broken. You are not just moving forward. You are rising upward toward the version of yourself that the storm couldn't touch. Your ascent has begun. Your destiny is calling, and you are ready. The triumph, you are the light after the storm. This is it. The moment everything you've walked through, fought through, cried through, and survived has been leading you toward. You are standing now in a place you once prayed to reach. A place beyond the chaos, beyond the heartbreak, beyond the fear that once held you captive. Look around you. Look within you. You are no longer the person who trembled at the first sign of thunder. You are the one who learned to stand tall in the rain. You are the one who learned that storms do not control your destiny. You do. And now, as the skies open and the world brightens again, you begin to understand something powerful. You were never meant to stay in the storm. You were meant to rise from it. You became your own shelter, your own anchor, your own source of strength. Because when everything around you seemed uncertain, you held on to the one thing the storm couldn't take, your spirit. And now, that spirit shines. You are the sunrise after the longest night. You are the calm after the fiercest winds. You are the hope after the deepest doubt. Your triumph is not loud or boastful. It is steady, radiant, undeniable. It lives in your eyes, your posture, your voice. It lives in the way you walk forward with purpose, no longer fearing what comes next, but embracing it with strength born from survival. You did not just outlast the storm. You outgrew it. The storm thought it could break you. Instead, it built you. It thought it could bury you. Instead, it planted you. It thought it could silence you. Instead, it taught you to speak with conviction. Everything you are now, every ounce of strength, every moment of courage, every step you take toward your new future is the proof that storms don't win. Strong souls do. And you, my friend, are a strong soul. Walk forward now with pride, with power, with the quiet confidence of someone who knows the storm is over, the sky is clear, and your story is just beginning. From here on out, you are not defined by what tried to break you. You are defined by what you rose from. The epilogue, the quiet strength within you. Now that the storm has passed and the triumph echoes behind you, there is something softer, something calmer, waiting to be acknowledged. A truth not found in thunder or fire, but in the peaceful stillness that follows. Sit with this moment for a second. Feel the quiet. This is not emptiness, this is renewal. This is the space where you meet yourself again. Not the broken version, not the frightened version, not the uncertain version, but the version that made it through. You begin to notice the subtle shifts, how your heart feels steadier, how your mind feels clearer, how your soul feels wiser. This peace isn't accidental, it's earned. You created it by refusing to surrender when everything in you begged for rest. You carved it out of the chaos by choosing belief when fear was louder. You protected it by standing tall when life tried to knock you down again and again. Now, in this calm after the storm, your true strength reveals itself, not in bold victories, but in quiet resilience. Strength is not always loud. Sometimes it's gentle. Sometimes it's steady. Sometimes it whispers instead of roars. And your strength whispers now. You made it, and you will make it again. You no longer fear storms because you understand something most never learn. If a storm rises, so will you. Nothing ahead of you will ever be greater than the power within you. Nothing the future holds can erase the courage you've built. Nothing life sends your way can diminish the spirit that carried you this far. Take a breath. This calm is yours. This peace is yours. This new beginning is yours. You stepped out of the storm and into yourself, stronger, braver, and more alive than ever before. And now you move forward not with fear, but with trust. Trust in your resilience. Trust in your journey. Trust in the quiet strength that will guide you through every season ahead. The storm is gone. The light has returned. And you